Yo, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to another Football Frenzy episode. And this one, I think this one's going to be a YouTube exclusive. The way Instagram has made it kind of difficult, to say the least, to be a content creator in a very, small avenue. Um, I'll probably be posting more content. On YouTube and post regarding the content being up on YouTube on the Instagram handle. Shout out to everybody who has supported. I hope you guys still tune in on YouTube and still support your boy. But if you don't, still all good. Hopefully, someday, somehow, some way, somebody comes back, watches all of this. Shout out to you if you do. But yeah, let's get into it. Today we are talking about, as you can see, it's probably flip for you guys as it's my front facing camera that I am using today to record this as I do mostly. But it is the Premier League predictions time. This weekend predict on Friday, really, the game starts. Today being Wednesday, the day I'm recording this, Wednesday, August 13th, the day of the Super Cup. UEFA Super Cup just happened earlier today. 2-0 lead for Tottenham Hotspurs, but they ended up losing in the penalty to PSG. So I had to represent. You already know it's Hala Madrid and London slash Premier League is blue. But now that's out of the way. Let's get back into the talk of the Premier League now that we just brought up Premier League. Uh, let's just kick into it without further ado. Drum roll, please. You guys could see it. I could see it. We all could see it. At number one, I do have Man City with Pep Guardiola coming back for their title. Why? Well, if you look at the last 10-year history, can you really blame me? Not really. The way Slot played last year was absolutely phenomenal. Nothing against him, nothing against his squad, but I think they just revamped 115, 125, whatever number of charges they have against them. They spent double, triple that amount. They have been since January, really. They got Omar Marmoush, they got Victor Reyes, Nico Gonzalez. They had some like Savinho, like not like couple windows, like here and there ago. Even Jeremy Doku's pretty recent. Jack Grealish, they paid 100 million. Now he's on loan to Everton, which we'll come back to later. But with all of those signings, with all those ingoings, outcomings, actually just a healthier center back pairing. I think Ruben Diaz being a little bit healthier, probably fitter, hopefully more motivated. You have Nathan Ake, you have John Stones, those guys. There's a lot of depth in every position. There's still talks about Rodrigo possibly coming on that left-hand side. Donnarumma coming in as goalkeeper. They're still adding more and more onto their squad. Haaland up top. Just their spine's kind of hard to go up against. Over the course of the whole season, Liverpool have to win it back to back for me to give them the benefit of the doubt. Just like Man City have earned it with back to backs, 3 in a rows. Centurions and all of that in recent memory. So they got to get the benefit of the doubt. Moving on, at number two, I do have the former reigning champions in Liverpool. I do not see them slipping too far back down. I think it will still be a close race. I just think the depth that Man City have been able to accumulate, I think that kind of helps them kind of slightly, very, very slightly edge them out. That Isak deal, we're still kind of in the limbo for it here. Like I said, August 13th, it still hasn't gone through. There's still a lot of drama surrounding that. Marquez, he looks like he's possibly more than likely going to be brought in. Konate, they're talking about a renewal within the next few weeks. They will sell him by January. If not, they just signed the young center back out of Lecce. He should be an interesting prospect, but like I said, going back to City, you have your three options as John Stones, Guardiola now really, with Ruben Diaz and Nathan Ake. All of them are experienced and Premier League champions. You're bringing in an 18-year-old center back. He might be your third or fourth choice option, but you see that difference in experience that might help City kind of edge them out. We'll see what happens. But moving on, at number three, you do see the question marks, but you can't really see the difference in color. at number 3, we do have the Reds out of London. Getting Yorkeres, getting Norgard, getting Zubamendi. I think the lack of a DM still kind of stops them from taking that next step. Unless Declan Rice is maybe moving into that role at number 6, but we'll see what happens there. It's hard for me to put Arsenal there because it's like they keep on coming in second, whether it's Wenger, whether it's Ateta, it's the same. So show me something different. And like I said with Liverpool, when you show me consistency, I'll put you over the edge. But so far, it's pretty simple. At number 4, we do have the drumrolls, please. Well, it's not the same, but you see the Blues. It is Chelsea at number 4. Why do I think that? Because, yes, I apologize to Enzo Maresca. I called you a caretaker manager last year, but you are anything but that. You have been growing since last year, laid your foundation already in the beginning, said, hey, this is my squad, this is what I'm rolling with. After that, like all the other guys, they had to go out on loans, whether it's Raheem Sterling, Kepa, all those other guys. This year, those guys are kind of being to a degree sold, like Kepa to Arsenal and all that, but Sterling's still there and other guys. But incomings, outgoings, they've replenished the squad. They've added depth. They've added hunger. The only thing I do feel like that is missing there is another center back possibly, especially with the Levi Kola injury. I was hoping for an experienced one, but I actually wouldn't mind the links to Piero Hincapi with the left-sided center back, being a option that's really needed. Hato can kind of fill it in, but do I really want him to get out of his way and like not kind of start taking in the mantle of Mr. Marco Correa himself? Not really. So, we'll see what happens there. But everywhere else, if you look at depth, there's still Garnacho links that's probably going to get signed through. Xavi Simons still could happen. I think goalkeeper is still a necessity. Robert Sanchez had a great Club World Cup. Well, he had a decent Club World Cup, but I think a top class goalkeeper kind of puts you on that next step to getting closer to the title. Last year, towards December, were we title challengers? Like Maresca said, we weren't. But this time around, like we can be, and that's the difference in picking up the trophies that we did, whether it's respected or not. Still a trophy. Poland coming here, Club World Cup, did that. Now we move on. At number 5, I have Aston Villa. Why? I think Jacob Ramsey's departure to Newcastle is going to be kind of a miss for them, but I think they will figure out a way to work around that. I think they have a pretty good academy. I think, from Jack Grealish's days, they kind of moved on from him, used that money smartly. I trust the manager in Unai Emery. They are playing in, I do believe, the Europa League, so they have a chance to win a cup in the Europa League as well. And in the Prem, they can come in, in that top 5, top 6 range. These are all hypotheticals. We don't know what's going to happen. Talk about hypotheticals. Now we get a little crazy. At number 6, I do have the return of the Reds, Manchester United. You see it right here. I don't know what to tell you. I'm kind of drinking that Kool-Aid right now. Do I think Sesko's a smart move? Absolutely not. Not at that price tag. He's not even close to being a finished product. And the only really striker that has worked out for United since Sir Alex's departure has been Zlatan Ibrahimovic. So I don't get the I just get flabbergasted talking about them every time, but I just don't get their scouting department. Why not go after Girassi, who's been banging goals like the last few years? Just some proven goal scorer from any league. But no, they will keep gambling on a young guy. Sesko, I did want him in a lot of different teams as well. He is a very, very interesting prospect. I just didn't like him for United, but if it does work out, he is going to be phenomenal. His, I mean, game's role model is Latan as well, so it should be interesting to see getting Cunha in. overpricing Brian Mbeumo and still getting him in. The front three is going to be lethal. Can it get them to a top six? I mean, I do like at least a top 10 for sure, probably a top eight. I'm just kind of pushing it with the top six, but we'll see what happens there. Moving on to number seven, I do have the Tottenham Hotspur. Talk about them today. The way they lost, it kind of showed their attacking prowess. It's just like a step behind all the other top guys. Can I see them in that six range as well? Like United, yes. Um, all of these kind of teams are in a limbo, like stacked in the middle. We'll see what happens with them, but I do see Spurs. They'll definitely be healthier than last year. I mean, injuries like last year cannot happen again. Um, I mean, they have three good center backs. They have decent fullbacks. Attacking options. If they do end up getting Savinho down from the line, they have some young attackers in Tel and Savinho on both sides. Solanke was never a right for that price in my opinion, but we'll see what happens there. James Madison injury kind of does hurt them a little bit. Their midfield doesn't really satisfy me to be a top contending midfield, but we'll see what happens there. Talk about a top contending team. Sorry to do this to you, Newcastle fans, but I do feel like you guys kind of earned this. At number eight, I do have you guys at, you know, outside looking in. You guys are in Champions League this year. I think that last time around kind of made you guys run thin in the Premier League. I think this time around, similar results. Losing Callum Wilson, losing Alexander Isak, not being able to get Sesko, Ekatike, any of these guys. I think it kind of hinders like Eddie Howe's just aura. Um, Getting a trophy last year, that was cool, but I think all that momentum kind of got halted with all this drama. I could be wrong. Like I said, between Villa at five, all the way down to, let's get into it. Number nine, I have Brighton. All of these guys can, like I said, they're kind of in that middle low ish or middle high ish block where they could kind of fluctuate between any of the positions. But we'll see what happens there. I do have Newcastle kind of slipping down without a goal scorer. I can't really trust you. I like the signing of Malik Ta. I think he's going to be a solid option for you guys. Um, Big, strong, but Tino Livramento, another drama that could kind of be brewing. Does he go to City within a year? Questionable. Yeah, there's just a lot of question marks around the team. How long does Eddie Howe last after this debacle? There's just kind of a lot of too many questions. Moving on, Brighton. I think Hurstler is a good manager. They have an exciting young squad. Some of their signings that were kind of overpriced before, if you look at it, they started kind of embedding into the squad last year and started performing like Rutter, Weifer, and all those guys. I think they will kind of, take that next step this year. Hopefully, gel as a team even better. For them, I have them slipping a little bit to number nine from number eight last year because of that Carlos Baleba question mark. Obviously, I mean, they went from Caicedo to Baleba. They'll definitely find another replacement for him. That's not going to be a, you know, question for them and their scouting department. But we are kind of like 2 weeks out from the end of the transfer window. Kind of hard for me to, like put you guys in an upper echelon when you guys are losing one of your heartbeats to a rival. That's another reason why I have United going up so high. Is hey, if they get below, so I want to go back to United again, but I do have Brighton at number nine. Moving on, at number 10, I do have Nottingham Forest. Yes, they do slip from number seven down to number 10 this year. Why? Because Anthony Elanga, to a degree, they got that money. I don't know. Like I know they got a couple decent pieces, couple guys from Botafogo. They got Indai from Bologna, I do believe. But like, is that just gonna embed in off the bat? I don't know. It's like what it like to a degree. I do feel like they overperform from the actual squad that they are. We'll see. Like with every team, it has to be consistency. You have to show me year after year that you are going to be able to do this. Um, Chris Wood, is he really going to score 20 goals again? Can he? Yes. Will he? That's another question. Matt Sells, question mark. They are also in the Conference League. Chelsea had such a big squad that they could play their academy players and embed some of their extra like guys, like a Keenan Drewsbury Hall, like into that squad and still win the Conference League. I don't believe Forest could do that. I do believe they'll focus a little bit more on getting that trophy because that is attainable, depending on the way the games do get lined up. But I think that will be their little bit higher focus. They get distracted from the Prem a little bit and just a slight little dip, and then maybe next year they, with possibly winning Conference League, they add a little bit of that extra money, get signing or two, and strengthen their squad to come back next year, possibly go back into Europe. We'll see what happens there. Yeah, I do have them at number 10. At number 11, I do have Crystal Palace. Maybe I'm overrating them. 2 trophies, though. They got some momentum. I just love Glasner Ball, the way the squad has been just building under him, playing under him. I like Munoz on the flank. Eze as well. Gehi, 2 very big question marks. But I still see them being able to, like steady that ship and go forward. Chris Richards still in the back. I'm gonna support my boy. Yeah, Mateta still up top. I like him. I don't know what else to say. I like him. Moving on to number 12. I do have Everton. I don't know. Talk about I just like them. Getting into that new stadium. Uh, Moyes kind of steadying the ship. I think end of last year he steadied it a little bit. They've been making, I think, pretty decent signings. They got talk about Jack Grealish earlier. They got him on loan, 50 million buy option, maybe next year. But if not, they send him back. They possibly sign him for 35, something like that. They could work out a deal. He could be a solid number 10 for them. Help somebody else come up. Behind him, you still got Jared Brathwaite. You still have why am I forgetting his name? You guys know Jordan Pickford at goalkeeper. You still have Beto, who I think will start kind of performing a little bit better. You guys did lose DLC, but I think the other signings that you guys have made, they've been kind of underrated. You guys are still linked to Malikia. I think if that gets over the line, that's a very exciting prospect for Grealish, Beto, and those guys to play with. It's just a very interesting squad. It's still hurting from all of the um, previous ownership, management, all of that. But I think Moyes is going to nurture them well, steady them up a little bit, and they see progress. Talk about progress. Now we go the other way. Losing your entire defense, Bournemouth. You are at number 13. Dean Hoyson, um, Kepa in the back, Kirkes on the left. I mean, you guys lost pretty much damn near everybody in that defense. Justin Clivert really scored 12 goals. It's decent, but is he going to score 12 again, double digits again? Question mark. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. Selling your entire defense, I don't know if that was such a smart idea. Yeah, I Sensei. I don't know how to say his name. You guys already know who he is. He's a solid center back that they still have. They did get Diakite from Leo. He's going to be a solid pickup on the right side. But I think that's like a Zabani replacement. I think Hoyson's going to be extremely difficult from what I already have seen out of him. Uh, Anybody to replicate, but it's going to be very difficult for whoever's next one up. After that, on the left side, Kirkes, Trafford's there, so I'm kind of not as moved on that side, but I do still think another center back and some more reinforcements are needed until I see that out of you. Until I see, maybe in January I change my tune. You guys are in the top 10, but for now, I'm sorry, Bournemouth. You guys are down at number 13. Who I am not sorry to is Fulham. Yes, you guys were 11th last year, but without any signings. How can you do that? A whole summer with no signing. I mean, there's links. I think Kevin to in Shakhtar Donetsk for about. I think they made a 35 million bid. They're holding out for 50. So I don't know what that case is. Just one signing's not going to transform your team. Raul Jimenez in his mid 30s, still being your leading guy, 12 goals last year. Still, I mean, he's giving you everything he's got, but like, get that man some help. Yeah, without any help, you slip and you don't rise. Moving on, at number 15, I have West Ham. Why do I have them there? Because most of the other teams have actually done better business than them, in my opinion. I don't even know. Like West Ham is just slowly over time just rotted, in my opinion. Like from like once they left their um, stadium and moved to the London Stadium, like their soul kind of left, from like the squad all the way to like I think I've heard some fans, like just dislike them, stop getting season tickets now for what the team has become. Um, Even towards the end of last year, Potter didn't really kind of like have fans believing in anything, and I still don't believe in them. So yeah, from 14 last year, you guys just slipped down a little bit more. I think it might be even a more competitive season than last year. Um, so yeah, you guys slipped down. At number 16, talk about slipping down, losing Mbemu, losing Thomas Frank, the most important part. Johan Vissa kind of not being happy, losing Norgard. I mean, there's just you got torn apart, Brentford, and I apologize if I am speaking out of turn, but I do have you at 16. It's hard for me to kind of put you anywhere above that. Yeah, just a lack of quality. I mean, yeah, last year you guys came in at 10th. Lots and lots of overperformance from the whole squad. I mean, it was one of your best seasons. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Nope. So, yeah, this year, snap back to reality. Sorry, it is what it is. Moving on down at number 17, right before the relegation. I have Sunderland. As surprising as it might be, I know the last few years, every three teams that came up has gone right back down. I think this year might just be their year. I think Sunderland has just made just like signings on signings on signings on signings on signings on signings on signing on signing. But the most important one, as everybody will say, is Granit Xhaka, and I feel like just having him and his personality and his leadership there, they'll just like in every game they'll fight and just at most times just being and willing to fight for whether it's a point, whether it's 3 point, just having somebody that makes the whole squad tick. Probably gets the captain armband. Not sure who was the captain in Sunderland last year, but most of the squad had already been, you know, changed anyway or upgraded upon. So it should be interesting. But I do have Sunderland surviving in their first year, and then maybe we'll see them go down again next year. But I think with the signings that they've made, I could be wrong. Maybe they do have Enzo Lafay as well out of Roma. I could be wrong, but I do like their signings. I do like their ambition. So I am trusting Sunderland at number 17. The three teams I do have going down to the championship next year will be at number 18. I do have Wolves. Um, you lost Cunha. You can't really tell me anything about anybody else in that squad, really. Jose Sa is still your goalkeeper. Like, there's just no ambition. You've just been surviving in the Premier League. The owners have just been raking in money and just selling your best players, kind of just surviving, and just that cycle's just been repeating. And I feel like at some point it has to kind of break through. And I mean, just selling Cunha and not really doing anything with it, it might be your year. And I do hope it is, just so like the ownership kind of wakes up and maybe they get that ambition again and that fire again to kind of propel you guys into being a decent team, because you guys can be a decent team. Moving on, at number 19, I do have Leeds. Leeds being in the Premier League, as everybody says, is a good thing. I think it might just be a 1 year thing. The whole Daniel Farke debacle, like, why is he still their manager? Um, yeah, this is kind of like the Eric Ten Hag with United last year, just repeated, and they don't even have remotely the talent of United or the resources. So they go back down. At number 20, shout out JJ Why. His Burnley squad will go back down again. They should be interesting. I mean, James Trafford, we already know what happened there. But the rest of the squad, like I don't think they've made any significant signing where it's like, whoa. They got Broha. I think they got somebody else from Chelsea. Um, Decent signings. Shout out for that money. Um, but are they really going to keep you in the Prem? Highly doubtful. You guys are probably going to be one of the best team again in the championship next year. Win again, come back, make some other decent signings, and then possibly after that, in the 2030s, possibly get into like a decent little squad. I think got to be academy focused because like when you have like a batch of academy product, if you could just kind of work with them for a few years and then possibly sell them, you kind of replenish that money and then kind of start the get the ball rolling to kind of get into the upper echelon of Premier League. But till that point, I think you're just going to be in the rotation of going up, getting that money, going down, being the best, coming up, whoop, doing that. Also, because most of the 17 teams in the Prem, especially from last year, have already been established. I think just having that Premier League money over year after year after year, that kind of just stabilizes a lot of these teams that used to there used to be a lot of movement even till like outside of the top 10, even till the 2010s. It was volatile. Like teams in the 13s sometimes slipped all the way down and they were relegated, and vice versa. Nowadays, I think if you're in the top 15, you're really secured. 16, 17's like right at that mark where they can slip, maybe not. And then 18 to 20 is usually the teams that just came up from the championship. Well, I hope I did not talk you guys' ear off completely. Like I said, this is more than likely going to be a YouTube exclusive. I hope you guys tune in for the La Liga predictions coming up soon. For that, I might just stick to the top six. I don't want to get into the whole La Liga table in the whole. We already know more than likely how it's going to go. It's really the top three that's in question, really the top two, if we're being honest. But this has been my Premier League predictions. Let me know what you guys think. Am I, somewhat in line with you guys? We'll see how the Premier League goes down. The season kicks off on Friday, I do believe, with Liverpool. Shout out to Liverpool in winning the title last year, as well as a very, very, very heartfelt condolences in the loss of Diego Jota and Andre Silva as well. Hopefully, you guys have a memorable season for those boys. Um, Unfortunately, from my end, I do have you guys finishing at number two. But hey, these are just predictions, not a reality just yet. Win the title, and we will see what happens. Thank you guys again for tuning in. I'm sorry for blabbering. I will be out of here now. Go back and watch quick takes as the NFL season's coming back as well. Go back and support your boy with jump ball, with basketball season kind of just like diluted right now. So just go back how the basketball season ended last year and support all the Football Frenzy episodes. Maybe I kind of dive into UFC a little bit more as well, but football for sure. We are going to be coming out with a little bit more videos before summer transfer or as the summer transfer window ends. Thank you guys once again.